Hi, my name is Dave Bartholomew, and thank you for joining us on our journey toward a simpler, more sustainable life. If you haven't watched our introductory video, I would encourage you to do so. It will give you more information about what it is we mean when we say a simpler, more sustainable life, and who we are and what we're trying to do. But in summary, we would like to share with you some of the many experiences we've had over 40 years of seeking to lead a simpler, more sustainable life. Today we've got two parts to our video. The first part I'm calling What's Up, telling you the things that we're working on right now by virtue of the time of year. And then the second part is talking about today's topic. And today we're going to be addressing the question, how do we easily save money, eat healthier, and reduce waste? Hopefully you find that intriguing and will stay with us. But let's go back to what's up. It's spring right now. It's late May. The weather has been mostly really good. Yesterday it was about 85 degrees. The nights are still pretty cool. It's about 40 degrees in the morning when I get up. So a good swing in temperature. The days are really long. The sun rises at about 5 a.m. and it sets almost at 9 p.m. So very long days. So for the last couple of months, one of our main areas of focus has been our garden. It started off inside the house by planting seeds and keeping them in warm places as they germinated. One particularly fun project was taking an organic red pepper and taking the seeds that came out of it and putting those seeds between damp layers of paper towel, putting them in a plastic bag and then putting them in a warm spot and letting them germinate. Those germinated seeds, along with others that we started in the house, then made it into our greenhouse. It's a little teensy greenhouse, but it does amazing things. And most of the plants that we had in the greenhouse, it was a pretty full greenhouse for a while, have since been moved to our outside vegetable garden, but those red pepper plants remain in the greenhouse for now anyway. But we have most of our plants planted in our vegetable garden. We have a 30-foot by 30-foot garden with, among other things, 4 raised bed for vegetables. And we've got a lot of plants in there. Because of the temperature swings, we do have those raised bed gardens covered with row crop covers. And they help to keep the plants protected, particularly from the cold nights. So that's what's going on with regards to our garden, continuing to occupy a lot of our time. The other is a general category of wood. We live in an area where the major natural threat is wildfire, and so there's a program called Firewise that we are very engaged with because we want to minimize the damage that could be done in the event of a wildfire, in particular protecting our home. So we spend a lot of time in our woods firewising. Approximately 30% of our land is in forest, and so we work on firewising. At the same time we're doing that, we're also working on forestry management. There's a lot of things that we need to do to make sure that our forest stays healthy, including taking out diseased trees or trees that are too close to one another and those sorts of things. So Firewise and forestry management. Secondly, we use firewood as a major source of heat in the winter, and so we've been working for a long time already this spring in preparing wood for firewood. I cut down a lot of trees that needed to come out otherwise in most cases, and stacked those logs. And just in the last few days I've started turning those long logs into shorter rounds that eventually will be split and then left to dry and then eventually moved into the house for firewood. Also, some of those logs I'm setting aside to turn into lumber. I do have a chainsaw mill and make most of the lumber that we need around here, which is a real fun project. So those are a couple of things that we're working on right now. So let's move on to today's topic. And as I said, how can we easily save money, eat healthier, and reduce waste? Those are pretty ambitious goals, and to be able to do all of them at once and even do them easily, as I'm suggesting, that's a pretty tall order, but I think you'll find that this works pretty well. This is a concept that we heard in a similar format a few years ago. We've adapted it a bit since then to make it even more effective, but as a pretty straightforward way of doing all those things. Save money, eat healthier, and reduce waste. So the first step is to get a container that you can dedicate to food packaging waste. So this is an example of something you might want to dedicate to only food packaging. And I have some examples in there. So you put everything in there that has anything to do with packaging for food. So this is the cardboard box that some seltzer water came in. And then similarly a box for some granola bars. And we've got a milk container. And we've got actually one of the seltzer cans. That's a kind of food packaging. And then last but not least, we have the container that some organic arugula came in. And the idea is we put all of this food waste, food packaging waste in here, and we time how long it takes to fill up. And with these particular examples that I've given, you can see that that might only take a very short while, maybe only a matter of hours, maybe only a day or two. But keep track of how long it takes for you to fill that up. Then empty it and then start over again. And however long it took you to fill it up the first time, try to make it take longer. And it's cheating to simply just compact things down. That isn't really accomplishing what we're after here. But instead, do it by trying to buy things that have less packaging. I think one of the best examples is this clamshell packaging for arugula. Organic arugula is a great product, but that's an awful lot of packaging. It would be nice to be able to buy it just fresh in a bundle. So try to reduce the food packaging that you get. Make it take longer to fill up this container with your food packaging waste. And once you get to the point where you don't think you can make it take any longer without just smashing things down more, then you can move to the second step. And the second step is to count the number of nutritional labels that are in the container when you empty it. So as you're emptying it into either the recycling container or your compost pile or your garbage can, as you pull it out, look for nutritional labels. And then on the seltzer box, it's right there on the end. On the milk container, it's right there on the front. All of these things have nutritional labels on them, right here on the arugula container, and count however many there are. And just as you're going to continue to time how long it takes for you to fill this container, also count how many nutritional labels there are. And however many there are, try to make it fewer between one batch to the next. Now, why does that make sense? It's because real food, I should put quotes around that, real food doesn't have nutritional labels. So we've got this seltzer water that has nutritional labels. But let's look at these other things. Here is a pepper, a bell pepper that I got at the store, and this is exactly how I bought it at the store. There was no packaging, and you'll notice there's no nutritional label. Same thing with this broccoli. I eat a lot of broccoli. I love broccoli, and there's no nutritional label. This is exactly the way I bought this at the store. So if I buy a product like this, rather than a product like this, I have no packaging, I have no nutritional label, and it's a lot healthier, more nutritious food. Likewise, I love eggs and eat a lot of eggs. These are a nice set of organic eggs, and it does unfortunately still have a lot of packaging, but notice that there is no nutritional label on it. So even though these are packaged, they don't require any nutritional label. So if we buy products that have no nutritional label, we actually reduce waste. In most cases, you also reduce cost, and you're also eating healthier as well. So however many nutritional labels you have when you empty your container, try to make it so that there's less, and ideally shoot for no nutritional labels. So those are the steps to easily save money, eat healthier, and reduce waste. I hope you give it a try. If you do, I would really appreciate it if you would make comments down below. Likewise, we really only want to do these videos if there's people interested in it. So if you could like these videos, share these videos, and ideally subscribe to this channel, it would really send us the message that these are worth doing. So thank you for your interest in leading a simpler, more sustainable life. If you have particular topics you want us to cover or have any comments or suggestions, please make them below. Thank you very much.